didn't hear, I think he is. I only heard from Miss Idella.
All right. Madam Chair, next time I'll leave the door open so everybody keep talking. So they don't have to sit in silence for 2 minutes.
I guess they think Dr. Foster pastor came in. Be quiet.
Hey.
Next week. Good evening. It's 6:30, and I would like to call the November 9th, 2021 meeting of the Orangeburg County School Board meeting to order. This meeting is held in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The news media has been notified, and a copy of the agenda has been made available to the public. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence and keep all of our Orangeburg family and Orangeburg County members in our prayers. This time we have our Pledge of Allegiance led by parliamentarian, Reverend Brown.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of tonight's agenda, November 9th, 2021.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve our agenda for the November 9th, 2021 meeting. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes that was for October 12th, 2021.
Madam Chair, I
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the minutes of the October 12th, 2021 meeting. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. This time we will continue with our agenda and we will start with our awards and recognitions.
To Madam Chair Edwards, Vice Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Foster, and everyone joining us, good evening.
Good evening.
On behalf of Mr. Ernest Holliday, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, it is our pleasure to recognize our Rookie Teacher of the Month for October. Our recipient of the Rookie Teacher of the Month for October is Miss Brandy McGrady of Brookdale Elementary School. Ms. McGrady was nominated by an administrator that said, Ms. McGrady should be recognized as Rookie Teacher of the Month for several reasons. First, she is passionate about teaching and learning. She is eager and willing to learn necessary instructional strategies to help her students reach their fullest potential. She is also coachable. Every time we conduct our PLCs or PDs, she goes back and immediately implements what she's learned in her classroom. I've also observed Ms. McGrady in parent conferences. She's always professional, has a pleasant demeanor, and can articulate the students' academic performance. She can specifically explain to parents their child's actions in class, their strengths, areas of concern, and the support she is providing to meet their individual needs. As a first-year teacher, I'm impressed and excited about what the future holds for Ms. McGrady. Because of her eagerness and desire to make an impact in her role as a classroom teacher, I am certain that greatness is awaiting. I would also like to add that she completed her student teaching at Brookdale and has grown to love the district. She had multiple offers in other districts and states, but chose Brookdale. The Eagles are blessed to have Ms. McGrady as a part of the team. At this time, please join me in congratulating Ms. Brandy McGrady from Brookdale Elementary, and the October prizes were sponsored by the SCEA and Mr. Dean Swift. The principal is in the audience to provide support.
This time we will continue with our superintendent's update.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair, members of the board, as always, gives me pleasure to give you all an update on some key things going on around the district. As I've done for the past year and a half, I want to take an opportunity to give the board an update on our COVID numbers. As of yesterday, in your package, you have this information in this presentation as well. Since August, we've had about 4,785 students impacted. Again, that's not all positives. That is either having to quarantine, close contact, or isolate, and or positive. So again, that's a number we want to and wish was zero, but we'll continue to navigate through that. Right now, the actual number of students that we have on current isolation or quarantine or positive as of yesterday was 182. As you see here on this chart, of that 182 students that are currently impacted and at home, 143 of them will be returning next Tuesday. Again, we track this data on a daily basis as far as the number of students that are returning. As I've always said, I wish I could tell you that once those 143 return that I have no one to take their seat, but I'm sure we'll have some other students that will go back out. But our numbers are, as you can see, substantially lower. There was a time, as you recall, that we had over 900 students out on quarantine. So again, we wish that number will reach zero, and we'll continue to push towards that. And I believe the reason for the continued decline is due to the continued vigilance of our community and our teachers and students for wearing masks, but also the encouragement of the vaccine. And I hope that our families, now that they've approved an emergency authorization for 5 to 11-year-olds to get the vaccine, that many of the families will choose to take advantage of that opportunity. I believe that is the path forward to helping manage these numbers. As we look at our employees, if we go back to August, we've had about 124 employees since August that have been impacted. Again, that's positive, close contact, or quarantine. And you can see the breakdown here of where those individuals fall in those particular categories. As far as current employees that are on quarantine right now, we have a total number of 8 employees. And you can see on this chart here the date that those employees are due to return and the number of those employees. So again, this number at one point was also in the double digits, and we've seen a continued decline in that. So I want to also, again, take an opportunity to commend our employees, first of all, for taking advantage of the vaccine incentive, but also continuing to practice those health and safety protocols that we all know will work so that we can provide the best opportunities for our students, but also provide a healthy learning and teaching environment for all employees. Leadership Academy, I'm excited about this. We, as I mentioned at the last board meeting, we put out applications to start our Leadership Academy here. We want to focus on growing individuals here who are committed to this community, committed to this school district, and seek leadership opportunities. And we had a total of 54 applicants to apply, and that is open to assistant principals and teacher leaders in our building. Of those applicants, we were able to narrow it down. We were going to take 20. However, after the scoring, we had to end up taking 23 because we had some ties. The scoring process was done blindly, and we also had some outside retired superintendents to join us in the scoring process. Again, the names were redacted, and we scored those and came back together, and we have 23 individuals. We have 11 assistant principals and 12 teacher leaders that will be joining us on this leadership journey. And our first session will be December the 8th. That's if they're listening and they've been accepted, they just heard that news because they don't know yet. They know they've been accepted into the program. But we're looking forward to this opportunity. And this is an 18-month journey that we'll take to help grow leadership and what needs to specifically be here in Orangeburg to ensure that we're meeting the needs of our community and our schools and succession planning moving forward. Excited about this opportunity as well. We've sent out a robocall just to notify our community. As you're aware, we've been going around having a number of community meetings as we want to make sure that we went from corner to corner in this community, going over the demography study that was conducted as well as the facility study that was conducted last semester. But presenting that at a board meeting just isn't enough. We've had an opportunity to conduct going on 50 almost presentations to include all of our schools. And but now we're taking it to the broader community. We've focused on some targeted groups that we've come up with a list, and many of those groups we didn't have to do because there was a lot of overlap of many individuals that were part of one group that's also part of this group. So we're able to, for lack of a better word, kill 2 birds with one stone. But we're going to go and open it up and stand in front of the community so they have the opportunity to hear this data and give us feedback. That's the reason for going out, is to hear not only what the community has to say, but also make sure that we've presented this data. And the meetings will be held next week. So we're going to be on the road every single day, Monday through Thursday. We're going to be at Bethune-Bowman on the 15th, Edisto High School on the 16th, Lake Marion High School on the 17th, and we'll close at Orangeburg-Wilson on the 18th. So again, we're excited to have an opportunity to engage our community, but we'll also have a virtual option for people to stream in as well. For those that won't show up, we hope and encourage this entire community to please come out, hear this information, but also most importantly, give us your feedback and your thoughts. Because I think this is pertinent information that I think everybody needs to hear. And again, I would be less of a leader if I didn't stand before everyone and give everybody the opportunity to hear the information multiple times. So excited about that. And again, we'll have a good rest as we move into the Thanksgiving holiday after going on the road 4 days in a row, but we're excited about it. This is something that I want the board's consideration on. You know, as I've listened to the news and I've listened to teachers and I've experienced myself just the rise of the stress of the times that we're in education, not only doing education differently, but also dealing with the pandemic, anything that may be happening in your personal life or at home or the impact of family members. I want to propose an initiative just to encourage, first and foremost, our employees to do something that I think that we take for granted, but also I want to make sure that we're being progressive in our mindset and our thoughts, that we are taking the mental health of our employees seriously and letting them know that. So what I'm asking the board to consider this evening is a employee health initiative, and basically it's simple. What I want to do is to provide a day, and employees, this is from a teacher, administrator, bus driver, all 1,900 employees, provide them one day where they would have the opportunity to take that day without having to use a sick day. Obviously, there'll be some coordination with their directors and their principals, so they'll be limited on the number of people that can be out in one particular day. We'll find a way to cover that day, but if we give them that mental health day, they would have to go get a physical from a doctor. Many people fail to even go get a physical, and I think that's key. Many of you know my story. If it wasn't for me going to get a physical, I may not be sitting here. So just taking the opportunity, but sometimes giving the individual that day and that time. But if you've already gotten a physical and you said, I've been conscious of my health, then you can take your day to go speak with a mental health professional or anyone, just to sit down and sometimes blow off some steam and have someone to talk to. The only requirement would be that you, like anything else, you bring a doctor's note that says, you know, Sally was seen in my office this day. I don't need to know what you're seen for, don't need to know what you talked about. But if you're seen by your doctor for a physical that day, or you choose to go speak with someone at 9 o'clock in the morning on that day, then you have that whole day to just take a breather. Because I want to, again, encourage, first of all, individuals to look after their health and be preventative as opposed to reactive. But also let people know that we understand that this time and talking to someone is something that is key. And I want to, again, encourage our teachers and let them know that we're supporting them in this journey, that we're all stressed. So that's something that I would ask the board to take action on. And again, work with the principals. We have a principal meeting tomorrow, and work on how that would work. We can't have everybody out on the same day. There would have to be a limit to that and how we can cover. And those that we can cover in-house, we would. Those that we couldn't, we would have to get substitutes to cover on that particular day. But I think it's something that I at least owe our employees the opportunity to do that, especially during these challenging times. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that the board may have in regards to that.
Anyone have any questions for Dr. Foster?
Not a question, but a comment. Dr. Foster, I wish that as a board member that we could have gotten this information earlier so that we had time to think about it and make a sound decision based on what you're telling us tonight. So if we could have gotten it earlier, that's my comment about that part.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, comments for Dr. Foster? Dr. Stevens?
I totally agree with Ms. Ulmer. I like to see things just black and white, because we have a tendency of not being consistent, because you have one person might go out for one thing and somebody go out for something else, and that one get paid and the other one don't. You need to have that in writing. The board need to look at it and need to approve it.
Madam Chair,
Reverend Brown?
I'd like to let the record reflect that I understand what you're talking about. I understand what they're saying, but I understand and I don't have a problem with it. I comprehend. I can move forward for me.
Any other questions or comments for Dr. Foster? What we will do at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the Employment Mental Health Initiative, granting each employee a day to attend to their health needs without being charged any sick or personal leave.
Madam Chair,
Mm-hmm.
I so move that we approve the Employee Health Initiative.
All those in favor?
You can get a second?
Yeah, you need a second, I'm sorry. Any second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the Employee Mental Health Initiative granting each employee a day to attend to their health needs without being charged any sick or personal leave. All those in favor? Any opposed?
And I'm gonna say why I oppose, because we don't need any action item coming on the board that the board don't know. So that's why we make wrong decisions.
Reverend, anyone else have anything to say? Was Dr. Foster, anything you'd like to say?
No, ma'am. Thank the board for their consideration, and I'm sure the employees will truly appreciate that, the fact that we all want to make sure that we encourage them and want to look out for their health and safety during these challenging times. So we'll make sure that we make sure this process is as seamless as possible while looking out for the best interest of all our employees.
Madam Chair, did you get the count?
Did we get
Carrie?
the count? She has it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And this last thing, Madam Chair, members of the board, Apprenticeship Signing Day. As you guys are aware, we were one of 5 school districts in the state that was awarded our official apprenticeship certification. So we presented those 4 individuals, high school students that will be engaging in the apprenticeship opportunity. But we're going to have that official signing day for those individuals and have an opportunity to recognize them, kind of like how you sign a college scholarship or you get drafted, you have your signing day. So we want to bring those students and those families forward to recognize them for engaging in this great opportunity. So that is going to be here at Founders Court on November 15th at 4 p.m. So we encourage you all, if you have it in your schedule, to come and join us as we recognize those individuals who will be the first apprentice in Orangeburg County School District. And Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
At this time, are there any other questions for Dr. Foster? Ms. Oldham?
Yes, Leadership Academy. You say that we have 54 applicants, 23 were accepted, teachers and assistant principals. Do we have any, let's say, administrators that might have been in administration who would like to one day go back into a leadership position, given the opportunity to join this academy?
Yeah, everybody had the opportunity to apply to be selected into the Leadership Academy.
Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Foster?
Dr. Foster, I wanted to make sure that I had my numbers correct for that too. You said we had 23 assistant principals?
No, 23 total, 11 assistant principals and 12 teacher leaders.
Okay, thank you.
Will there be a second session?
This is an 18-month program, so yes, ma'am. Once we finish this, we'll start another session.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms.
community
Oldham.
meetings. Dr. Foster, you said that you did about 50 presentations, and yeah, you said, and who did we consist of, you and?
The senior staff here. We broke them up, and a number of individuals were able to spread out and do specified actual presentations across the county.
And this could be the same way when you go out in the forums?
Senior staff will be together doing those presentations next week.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Carson?
Dr. Foster, is it any way the members of the board will know what questions are being asked or what is being said to the community?
That presentation that we presented
Yes.
to the board, is that same presentation. We're just taking it out to the broader community. There's no questions that we're asking. We're asking feedback from the community. We're giving them information on the demography study and the facility study that we presented already.
Okay, when will we get the feedback from the community and what they're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Once we get all the meetings together and completed, then we'll compile all that information to present to the board.
Okay.
No other questions? Then we will continue with curriculum and instruction updates.
It is indeed a great day to be a part of Orangeburg County School District. Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Foster, I am Dr. Vikel Darby, Instructional Technology Facilitator with the Curriculum and Instruction Division. I am excited to share with all of you some of our curriculum and instruction updates. let me emphasize
That's
that, free instructional software program for our pre-K scholars that will provide academic support to increase literacy awareness. Our purpose is to make sure that we are building literacy among our pre-K scholars. Our goal is to make sure all of our pre-K students are kindergarten ready. We want to make sure that on the first day of kindergarten, they are ready to rock and roll when it comes to reading. Currently, we have 469 pre-K students. I am excited to share that 81% of our parents have attended the parent orientation session, and they have received a digital device, which is the Chromebook, and or a hotspot. So if a parent needed a hotspot for their child at home, Waterford provides that free of charge. Family engagement. I'm excited to share that we have been working with our parent liaison, and a part of their task is to make sure the parents are supported at home. They call bi-weekly, they offer support as well as strategies to make sure that everyone is happy, well pleased with Waterford, and they all are learning together. After all, we are one. We have created our implementation model that we would like to share with all of you. Step 1, Waterford hosts a parent orientation at each school. It is hosted by our school's parent liaison. Step 2, once the parents complete the orientation session, they receive their digital device, which is a Chromebook and or a hotspot. If you notice on step 3, our pre-K scholars will complete at home, and I'm going to emphasize, at home for 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week with their parents or with a parent designee. Our parent liaison would check with the parents bi-weekly to offer support as well as parental engagement strategies. Next step, which is step 4, our pre-K teachers will be provided professional development on how to use the data to drive instructions. Teachers will be able to monitor the growth of their students. Step 5, each family is provided a Waterford mentor that will provide after-hour assistance to work with the parent and the child. The Waterford mentor contacts the parent and the child daily, sometimes weekly. It depends on their needs. Lastly, the curriculum and instruction will provide monthly incentives to the top 2 classes with the highest users. And I am excited to share that our teachers are very competitive. They're excited. They want to see who's going to be the mover and shakers. And that is the award that we provide to our teachers monthly. We give a class set of headphones to our pre-K students, and the teachers are given a gift card as well as a certificate. Joining me today, I have 3 of our awesome pre-K teachers, and they are Ms. Valerie Funches of HKT Elementary, Ms. Claire Goldmintz of Sheridan Elementary, and Ms. Valesta Twitty of Brookdale Elementary. We're excited to have them here today because we wanted you all to be able to feel the excitement that our teachers and our students have as it relates to Waterford.
Good evening. I'm Valerie Funches from HKT Elementary, and I'm really excited to be here tonight to let you know how the students and the parents are engaging in Waterford. When we first received our devices, we had our meeting at night, and I only had one parent that was not able to come to pick up a device that night, but they got it in the next 2 days. When we had parent-teacher conferences last month, I asked each of my parents how they felt about the Waterford program, and all I got was positive feedback. They were really enjoying it. The kids really enjoy it. And right now, my students, they've shown me how to implement it in the classroom as well, not adding any extra work on me, but giving them a chance to work in the classroom. And they are having a great time with it. I'm glad that the program is available for the students, and I'm so excited to see how well they do with it. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Claire Goldmans, and I'm at Sheridan Elementary School. When I first asked my when I told my students that we would be doing Waterford in the classroom on a trial basis, my students cheered. It was like, wow, cool. As a teacher of the Munchkins, I like to teach the students where they are, not where I think they should be. And the information that I get from the teacher end of Waterford is awesome. I'm able to see where my students are excelling as well as where they're struggling. And this data helps me to form my small groups and differentiate my students. Truly, it's an amazing program, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Valesta Twitty from Brookdale Elementary, and I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you some highlights in reference to our student usage of Waterford. I am excited to say that at this time, all 20 of my students currently have devices in their homes and are actually using the devices in their homes. And I have some current data that I want to share with you. So as of tonight, 11 of my 20 scholars have exceeded the expectations of 75 minutes a week or 5 days a week for 15 minutes. So 11 of my scholars have exceeded that. Of those 11, 3 of them have actually doubled the amount of usage. I have to give this credit to my hardworking parents. I have sent messages through Class Dojo. I've shared their data with them at parent-teacher conference meeting. But my parents are just as enthusiastic as I am. I'm often reminding them that with good classroom instruction, with Waterford and parent engagement, that our students will be kindergarten ready. They'll be ready to start kindergarten day one, ready to learn. How exciting is that? Very exciting. Thank you. And before we leave, we would like to share with all of you just a quick recap of our parent orientation sessions. You will see this video was created by Dr. Mwanda McMichael, but we wanted you all to just capture the excitement of our parents. We had full sessions on the very first time we had the orientation. On tomorrow, we will be hosting another makeup session at Edisto Primary School from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and again from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So we just want you all to just feel the essence and the excitement that we are having with this wonderful opportunity.
to share with you our excitement about Waterford. And at this time, we're going to allow Ms. Priscilla Holliday to come forward. Thank you.
Madam Chair, as Ms. Hollington comes forward, I just want to take an opportunity to thank these three ladies here and our Rookie Teacher of the Year for, first of all, accepting the challenge, but also being brave enough to come give us feedback, honest feedback on what you think is happening. I had a conversation with Mrs. Funches out in the lobby right before I came in, and she shared some things with me. You know, she's been around for a few years, 1 or 2, but she said in 35 years, she says, you know, it's working. So when you have someone who's had an opportunity to try a number of things and have something to compare it to come back and say, you know what, this is working and my kids are getting excited, not just about Waterford, but spoke a little bit about Letterland as well and those things. So thank you, ladies, for thinking. You got some papers to grade, you got things I know you could be doing, but you're here, so I appreciate that and appreciate your feedback.
Madam Chair, Ms. Tyler, before you present, I think Dr. Darby stated that the implementation model had 5 steps. I don't see but 4. Are we missing one?
Yes, ma'am. Apparently, we're missing one from the slide, so that could have been a typo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good
To
evening.
continue with the updates from the Office or Division of Curriculum and Instruction, I am Priscilla Hollington, and I'm serving as the Gifted and Talented Facilitator for the county. I just want to step back for a moment and do a brief upview of where we were last year. About this time, we were talking about implementing or initiating magnet academies in Orangeburg County School District. For this school year, we do have our inaugural year with 4 elementary magnet academies. SAIL, housed at Mellichamp Elementary. Baja, which is our Broadcasting Magnet Academy, housed at Edisto Elementary. Stage, our Visual and Performing Arts Magnet Academy, housed at Marshall Elementary, and STEAM, or Bulldog STEAM Academy, housed at Holly Hill Elementary. Our goals were and are to provide specialized educational approaches to learning and teaching, to improve achievement for magnet program participants, and to promote and maintain diversity. Now, at this time, I'm going to transition. I'm going to share with you just a little bit of what it looks like now and how our teachers and students are responding to the magnet experience. With this video, thank you, Division of Communications and Business Partnerships.
We're very excited about this. We get to work together, and we've been working on a curriculum. The teachers have been working closely together, working on a curriculum that is designed at a higher level for our students to push them and have more rigor in our classrooms.
And includes means some ideas to find answers.
Some ideas? Okay.
So it's like we read in a story, and if we don't know a word, the meaning.
I do want you to visualize while you're reading. Okay, well, in my classroom is really student-centered. Everything I do, it is geared towards the students. So what you saw in my classroom earlier, I was asking questions of things to prepare them for an assessment that they have to take. So it is important for me to ask them questions to see if they understand what I'm teaching, to retain, if they're retaining that information.
Well, it gave me a little time to challenge myself so that I learn new things.
I already did it. Here, I have 1 square. Alright.
Interesting. Now, why are you using 2 toothpicks there?
I think this program really pushes students to think outside the box, and that engineering process is so imperative to student success, you know, not even in a engineering-based career, but the overall process where, you know, you come up with a solution, it doesn't work, you modify the design, and then you go back. And so that really requires some critical thinking, some reflection, all of those good components that students could apply in their everyday life in the future.
Brainstorm. Then you want to make a model, and then ask questions and see if you can make it better.
Do we have everything? Color tiles. That's what we put them on the file,
Not only does it allow them to participate in STEAM activity or enrichment things, it allows them to be diverse and also come together with other students from all around Orangeburg.
We use like a lot of our creativity to make something really new, and we put all of our positivity into all of our buildings.
You know, there are children in our building who are mathematically and scientifically advanced, don't get me wrong, but that's where they play with the technology because I mean, the technology is all around us in this room, and everything that they're going to do with broadcasting and journalism is going to involve some type of technology. But then the communications aspect is also in there.
Learning. That's just one word to describe it. And then you have fun, and then you have, it has to do with technology and like cameras, being in front of the camera, and you definitely need some pride to do that.
Parents of children who are interested in communication, who are interested in being in front of the camera, who are interested in science and math, who are interested in the arts, really need to take advantage of any of our magnet academies across the district to push their children a little bit more.
Okay, that was just a little snapshot of what's happening with Magnet Academies in its inaugural year. Let's take a closer look again at our phases for the expansion of this, I don't want to say program, expansion of the opportunities. Phase 1, we did institute or implement our 4 Magnet Academies. We're moving into phase year 2, where we'll extend those academies into middle school with the 6th grade. And then we will bring on board our talent development academies at the 2 sites that I mentioned previously. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So that's where we are, and then we're looking forward to phase years 3 through 5. Our enrollment numbers presently, here they are. We have a total of 215 students that we are serving across the district in our Magnet Academies. And you can see the numbers by site. Baja has our largest numbers of students who are participating in a Magnet Academy. So far, our teachers are taking part in some awesome, wonderful, diverse, enriching professional development opportunities. The first for English language arts would be our junior great books, shared inquiry sessions that are ongoing. We have 10 more sessions throughout the year to support teachers with implementing this ELA curriculum. We also had a session recently for the William and Mary literature units, also a part of our ELA curriculum. For mathematics, we've had our sessions with Mentoring Mathematical Minds. We refer to it as M-Cubed. And our teachers are taking part in the Gifted and Talented Endorsement courses that are offered through the State Department of Education at no cost to teachers who can get into those courses while seats are available. So our students and our teachers, in Magnet Academies are actually applying for and getting into these courses so that they could begin getting those endorsements placed on their certificates. Those courses are Nature and Needs of the Gifted and Curriculum and Instruction for the Gifted. All right, a few experiences that our students have been having this year so far. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. We have started with our Saturday STEM, our STEAM camps. Holly Hill Elementary, our BSA STEAM Academy, and Mellichamp Elementary, our SAIL Academy, are working in collaboration with A Hand in Learning, a company whose mission is connecting computer science and STEAM curriculum through hands-on technology. And these experiences began in October and will move all the way through the month of February at both sites. Also, on the horizon, we will have our STEAM Family Night at both Magnet Academies. I hope that you all would attend with us virtually or in person. We have limited space in person, but you'll have both opportunities or options. On Monday, December the 13th, SAIL will have its STEAM Parent Night or Family Night. And then on Thursday, January the 20th, BSA, or Holly Hill Elementary, will have its STEAM Family Night. Their theme for the year is Get Cozy with STEAM. You will have make and take sessions. You will also have some sweet treats. that will make the evening oh so sweet. Now that's from my teachers. We also have our growing partnerships with the community. Baja Scholars are being mentored by PBS, that's our public broadcasting system, student reporting, lab youth media producer. Now that's a mouthful. The PBS producer is collaborating with Baja on an upcoming project that's titled Recess Therapy. This is where the students get to work on improving their interview skills by catching other kids on the playground and asking them a series of questions. BSA and SAIL, our STEAM academies, have established an ongoing collaboration with the company I mentioned earlier, A Hand in Learning, to promote student inquiry, dialogue, and critical thinking as students engage in hands-on activities and challenges that introduce them to and reinforce STEAM concepts. SAIL also has a partnership with South Carolina State University, the 1890 Research and Extension Program, where the students take part in what they call horticulture therapy, where SAIL students learn the positive effects of gardening on human well-being and are looking into the ways that gardening benefit us socially, emotionally, and physically. Our Stage Academy, Academy for the Arts, has an ongoing partnership or collaboration with the Orangeburg County Fine Arts Center, where their work is being displayed. Student artists are able to have their work shared with the community, and they're also assisting us with pairing our scholars with mentors who are experts in the field, who are working artists. Also, Stage was recently awarded an Irene Myers grant to implement a beginner strings program, which will provide the instruments for the students, and we will pair that with instruction for those students, and the details are forthcoming. Virtual field studies have taken place as well. During the month of October, our STEAM Academy students took part in SciFest, which is an all-access experience where students were given the opportunity to learn about topics of interest in all STEM areas. They enjoyed an opportunity to see experiments in action, learn about different animals, and gain more knowledge about new technologies being used in our world today. Coming soon in the month of November and then also in December, these STEAM scholars will participate in an Amazon virtual field trip, and it's for every future engineer. From click to delivery, the students will learn how the computer science really plays a role in the workforce and in their everyday lives. Some of the topics that the students will learn about or be exposed to will be algorithm, cloud computing, sensor efficiency, database, quality control, and machinery. Our STEAM Saturday camps, as I said, went really well, and they are currently ongoing for Mellichamp Elementary. And I wanted to share, in addition to our STEAM family nights, we will have expos and showcases. You're all invited. Stage Magnet Academy will premiere its winter production called Expressionism, an Arts Expo, on Friday, December the 17th. This program will be brought to life on a virtual platform, and this is from the teachers as well. Be prepared to witness an explosion of talent by our students as they dance, sing, act, and set it off with our dynamic drumline. The Baja Academy, the Broadcasting and Journalism Academy, they will present all the news you need and more on Wednesday, February the 23rd, and they said it's sure to be a Baja original. Moving forward with our expansion plan in phase year 2, I spoke of these 2 sites earlier. Edisto Primary and Rivalon are the names of the sites where we will have our talent development. Now, this is not a magnet academy, so to speak, where students would have to apply, but this will take place in these buildings with our kindergarten students, where we're actually going to work on deepening their understandings and growing their talents in the areas of verbal and nonverbal reasoning, problem solving, and in academic areas like research, language and communication, and creative writing. Again, that will begin in kindergarten, and we hope to grow that each year. Coming soon, we will have coding experiences for our students in Orangeburg County School District. We are currently collaborating with Ed Farm for possible coding magnet academies. EdFarm is a program supported by Apple, the Apple company, and its primary goal is to prepare students for jobs of the future. The details are still being worked out for this one, but the Coding Magnet Academies would focus on inspiring our children to explore technology, learn to code, and pursue STEM careers. Also, phase year 2, looking at middle schools, where do our students go once they have left the elementary magnet academies? Our students will matriculate into middle school, focusing on 6th grade in year 2, phase year 2. Baja students would matriculate or move on to Carver Edisto Middle School, where we're already in talks about offering, we have drama, but we want to also include journalism and broadcasting for 6th graders in this year 2. BSA students who are at Holly Hill Elementary School will move on to Holly Hill Roberts, where they already have in place a Gateway to Technology course. I have a little star there by coding. Our hopes is to have some offerings in coding for those students as well. Both our SAIL and our Stage Academy students will move on to the school where they would naturally move on to, William J. Clark Middle School, where we already have in place innovative courses, course offerings like robotics, computer science discoveries, video production, and a few more visual and performing arts courses are already being offered there as well. I just want to put a plug in that the application window is now open for Magnet Academies. This window will remain open until Friday, November the 19th. And parents may pick up an application at any elementary school, or they can just go to the district's website and apply online. We prefer you to apply online, but if you do not have access to that and you need an application, you can actually get one of those from an elementary school or reach out to the Curriculum and Instruction Division to have someone assist you with the process. Thank you.
Dr. Brunson? Ms. Tomlinson?
Yes, ma'am.
How well are the teachers taking advantage of the availability of the GT endorsement courses?
The teachers who are in the magnet programs teaching there actually are taking full advantage. Across the district, it just depends. Some teachers are already in courses, so they wouldn't apply. They don't have the time they feel to, to commit to the courses. Overall, it's steady. It's steady.
Thank you.
Reverend Brown.
Yes, ma'am. Could you repeat those dates again? I think, was it December the 30th and January the 20th?
It was, I want to say December the 13th
13th.
was a STEAM family night at SAIL, that's Mellichamp. And then, let me go to the other that's in December. December the 17th is the premiere of the production from the Stage Academy. And January the 20th would be the other STEAM family night from Holly Hill. Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, if I could add something in regards to the coding magnets, we had hoped to have have that solidified by now, but we're again partnering or attempting to partner with EdFarm, and that's a division of and working with Apple and United Way. So we have to see if we're going to be accepted into that program. The good thing about it is EdFarm will be here on site in the district on Thursday. So we hope that we're moving forward in that process to get accepted, and with that acceptance comes some bells and whistles that we think would enhance those opportunities for students. So we'll have to kind of adjust our timeline in regards to the coding magnet program. So that's why that's not a confirmed magnet at this point, but we're in the runnings.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Ms. Hollington?
Not from Ms. Hollington.
Ms. Omer?
I just would like to thank each of you for the presentations tonight. We have some great opportunities for our kids in our specialized areas. But my concern also is that will we be given an update on the academic success of our students? Every day, the 9 weeks have just ended. So will we get an update? Will we be getting an update on the progress of our students
Yes, I can say yes.
in the near future?
And Madam Chair, It would be nice if you could just send the boards the date of these meetings. That'd be very helpful. Thank you so much.
will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Board members, I wanted to also say this to you. This was handed to me. They're having a hard time hearing us, so they're going to ask that you speak right in the mic and take your mask off so they can hear everything that's being said. Okay? Thank you, Ms. Hollington. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, we will continue and we will have our financial services update.
Good evening, Madam Chair,
Good evening.
board members, Dr. Foster. I would like to provide the financial update for the month of October. Our total revenue received $7,167,235.44. Our total expenditures, $9,747,026.96. Our expenditures exceeded our revenue by $2,579,791.52. As you are aware, we did borrow a TAN for $4 million. So that TAN allowed us to be able to cover our expenditures for these months where our revenue fell below our expenditures. Also, I want to mention that the audit is going on now as we speak. It's coming along well, and the auditor will be here to present to you all our audit for the 2021 fiscal year on next board meeting. Do you have any questions regarding the financial update?
Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Carson, I didn't see you.
I know. Our fund balance account. How much is in our fund balance? Do you know?
Okay, the fund balance have not been confirmed yet by the auditor. We
Okay.
still have the 7.1 million at the end of last audit. And that should be confirmed by the auditor by next board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. We continue with the assistant to the, we will continue with the assistant to the superintendent, the district ombudsman.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Foster. It's about that time again to start talking about graduation. It's coming up. I'm here this evening just to share a little bit of information with you. Our graduation exercises for the class of 2022 will take place Friday, May the 27th, and Saturday, May the 28th at the Smith Hammond Middleton Memorial Center at South Carolina State University. There's a one-pager inside of your packets, and I've also have it on the screen there with the times and date.
Any questions for Dr. Washington? Dr. Quinn?
Mine is more of a statement. I know for the last 2 years, we've had our graduations at the respective schools, and most of them have been outside, weather permitting. And I just want to say that some of the people in some of those areas have said that's some of the best graduation activities they have had, and they were actually happy in a way that they were able to continue to have them at their school sites. And I think we've had people come in here before to ask for them to be at their school sites, not to be at a central location. And I would just like to put my 2 cents worth in to say I would like to see them at the schools again because some of my constituents would like to have it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Seegers?
I am totally agree with that. When we take graduation from the school, you're taking away the person over the school. You went to your school 12 years. You want to march at your school. That's the way the community think. So when we are going to South Carolina State, someone probably will go there for college, that's fine. But the graduation need to be at the schools.
Anyone else? Have any comment, questions? All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Washington.
Madam Chair. Dr. Washington, this is being brought for information, so are you saying this is what is going to happen here? Just for clarity, are these the dates? Okay, these are the dates. So the place, South Carolina State, you saying this is what has
This is
been agreed upon?
the current schedule that we have at this time.
And the place?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
I know before.
Madam Chair, just as a point of clarity, from my understanding, the reason that the board decided initially that the graduation would be a joint location. However, COVID made it a circumstance where they had to pivot and move them to the individual high schools. So all this is bringing forth what was already decided. And if that's incorrect, please let me know, as that was decided prior to me. So we're just presenting this information as a schedule, because the venue that was now available was not available due to COVID, because I don't believe they weren't renting out any venues at all.
Right.
So this was just now they're making the venue accessible, and they're opening up opportunities for those things. So that's the only, we're just bringing back the actual schedule to coincide with what was previously decided about graduations.
Ms. Stevenson?
When was this decided? Must be before I got on board.
It was.
Decided before I was here as well. Yes, yes, ma'am.
It was.
Really can be undecided.
Yes, sorry.
Anyone else have a question?
Yeah,
Oh, Ms. Pelzer?
yes. I understand all point of views. I would like to go to, other graduations other than Lake Marion's. Because when we have them all the same day, that makes it kind of not possible. And I understand, you may want to graduate from your high school, but as a board member, I would love to attend graduations for some of the other high schools in the county. And this seems to be the norm now. One place, graduations for all the high schools in that particular school district. That's just my take on it.
Thank you, Ms. Pelzer. Dr. Quinn?
I'd just like to make one more comment, not to be argumentative or anything, but I've asked this question before, I think when the decision was made previously. Who is this graduation for? Is it for the board members and the administration of Orangeburg County School District, or is it for the students of the schools themselves? And I think it should, I really think the graduation should be at the respective schools, and, the board members can go to whatever they can go to. I know you feel like you'd like to go to all of them. That's not possible if you have them at individual schools. But I think if you took a poll of most of the people at the individual schools, they would prefer to have them there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Ms.
my
Owen?
clarity was, I thought maybe it was coming back, and I know we decided this before, but as you say, we have a new member on the board, but I was wondering whether we had to take an action on it again. That was my question, for clarity.
No.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
I'm good.
Thank you, Dr. Washington. We will continue with our student services update.
Good evening. Board Chair Ruby Edwards, board members, Dr. Foster, Superintendent, and community. Be smart for kids. So this national organization, the Be Smart framework, is designed to help parents, adults, and children's community members normalize conversations about gun safety and take responsible actions that can prevent child gun deaths and injuries. So Be Smart, of course, as you can see, it's an acronym, stands for S, secure all guns in your homes and vehicles. M, model responsible behavior around guns. A, ask about the presence of unsecured guns in other homes. R, recognize the role of guns in suicide. And T, tell your peers to be smart. Now, again, it's very important that we become more, I guess, relevant when it comes to this and provide practical tools. And so steps, substantial data around this. The overarching message pretty much of the Be Smart initiative is to keep firearms locked, unloaded, and separate from ammunition. Now, there's some startling data that I want to pull just two pieces out, and that is one, 5.4 million Americans live in homes with guns that are loaded and unlocked. And I want to call your attention to the last stat, and that is each year in the U.S., nearly 350 children gain access to firearms and unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else. Now, the Be Smart initiative is a parent and guardian focused initiative, but it also has collaborations that will allow for room for student focused initiatives. On this chart here, you see data that actually talks about the data in South Carolina, well, in America, and then also pinpoints South Carolina and others as well. The collaboration is an effort with Midland School District superintendents, but it's a national organization and it reaches out to all counties as well. But we're looking at becoming a part of the Midlands Coalition. Be Smart has also partnered with Prisma Health, Trauma Association SC, and has also partnered with the Sandy Hook Foundation. If you know about Sandy Hook or remember about Sandy Hook, that is the unfortunate tragic incident of loss of lives of children in Newtown, Connecticut. Parents actually started this initiative. That partnership is a student-focused initiative. The impact, as you can see, is to ensure that we are making this conversation normalized and that we're helping parents become more safety conscious when it comes to securing firearms and separating the ammunition from the firearms as well as locking them up. But another thing about this impact is that if there are gun locks that are needed for gun owners, then they will provide, the national organization will provide gun locks to our district social workers to provide to parents and guardians if it is needed. Next steps, what we're looking at is to join this partnership, we just simply need to inform the Director of Strategic Partnerships at Richland School District 2. If we do join, they would send us, the national organization would send us an MOU for our review and approval to join this. There's no cost. There will be a press release signing. It also, as we are all about in our district, it promotes a law enforcement relationship as well, and we have that campaign that is started. Again, it encourages law enforcement that I mentioned, but it's also an opportunity for us to build the capacity in our parent liaisons and those who promote parental involvement. It gives them more context about, again, our most important initiative, and that's keeping our children safe. And so pretty much the action item tonight is to join and sign the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding with Midland School District Superintendents to join the Be Smart for Kids initiative.
Are there any questions for Mr. Jones?
Just, Madam
Ms. Tyler.
Chair, I see here we are inviting Sheriff Leon Lott. This is because they already have it in that area or something, or what?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. They would, once we enter the MOU, then they would engage Sheriff Ravenel as well as part of that. And I've had a preliminary discussion with the Sheriff's Department here, and they're familiar with this. I've spoken to to Chief Gibbs about this as well. So they would then engage our local law enforcement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Carson?
How are we going to get the parents fully committed with this program, in this program?
The interesting thing about this is it allows us to create an opportunity, an organizational structure. So we have the autonomy. They don't force us on how to do it. And so that's why I mentioned, again, that's just a potential idea to involve our parent coordinators, parent liaisons to utilize these in their meetings with parents. But it will be up to us on how we strategize that.
Ms. Stevens?
It's good, because we got too much deaths with guns as it is. However, when we have an action item, can we have this beforehand so we can be reading and know what we're looking at when we come here? Although you read it as you go along, we know that the majority in the state of South Carolina, they're being killed by guns. Just got a report where people killing each other just for no reason, or a gun going off, a 3-year-old shot itself. We understand that. But we need, in our bylaws, if you read in our bylaws, it's 5 days. We should be looking at something before it actually come. So we can be already read it, study it, and any question. Because sometimes you don't even, when you give a presentation, at that point, you don't even have a question. You really don't have a question you need to ask. But when you get home, there's things in your mind that you want to ask. But if you had it before then, you already have your question when you come. Just asking for it to be a little, presented to us a little early.
Yes, ma'am. This was in the packet that was sent. We just put it in the presentation format. This is that one pager that was in your packet.
That was when?
Was there. We went on Thursday evening or for Friday morning when we sent it out with the board packet. So this information was in there.
That's not 5 days. Okay, Foster, you always, whatever.
Any other questions for Mr. John? Hearing none, at this time, I will entertain a motion to authorize the superintendent to enter the district into the partnership with the Be Smart initiative.
Madam Chair, I so move that we authorize our superintendent to move forward with the Be Smart initiative.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we authorize the superintendent to enter into the district into a partnership with the Be Smart initiative. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
as parliamentarian, just for a point of clarity, I don't want to go out to think that our administration is not following our bylaws.
Okay.
You got it on Thursday. Even if you didn't get it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's 5 days. Thursday, 6 days. Let the record reflect.
Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian.
And a
Ms.
point of
Stevens?
clarity, we don't sit and look at our computer every day, all the time like that. So whatever my weekend is my weekend. So you can't count, even if you got business, it said 5 working days. Now let's don't go there.
Thank you, Ms. Steve. Thank you. Ms. Tyler?
Since we're having a lot of discussion about, this, is it any way, and I know from Consolidated District 4, what we were used to getting, Dr. O'Quinn, if you can attest to this with me, we would get our material, our packets, on Thursday, I believe.
Thursday or
The courier would bring them out, or either we would go to the district office and pick it up. So like Ms. Stevens was saying, maybe some of us don't sit and look at the computer or what have you. And maybe that would cut down on a lot of the discussion. If we could have the packets in our hand like we have it tonight on a Thursday. It worked extremely well when we were Consolidated 4. But I know we are not Consolidated 4 now. I know we are Orangeburg 1. We are 1, Orangeburg County School District. But since we're having a lot of discussion, and I am one too, I like to just get my packet and sit down and read it, So thank you. That's a suggestion.
Thank you, Ms. Tyler.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Olma?
And it's not about parliamentarian procedure. It's about the policy that this board has put into effect. If we can't follow our own policy and implement what we have put into effect, then our policies are no good.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I'd like to let the record reflect that I, R.L. Poppy Brown, did not say parliamentary procedure. I said as the parliamentarian, I just want clarity. And for me, I'm fine with the digital because my weekends are my weekends too. I'm a full-time pastor and a chaplain, and I work weekends. I get my stuff on Thursday, I got Friday, I got Monday, I got all day Tuesday. That's 4 days. Come on with it.
So what I'm going to ask board members to do, will you let Ms. Moretta know how you would prefer to get your packet? Would you like a hand copy packet, or would you continue to like it digital? Each board member, please do that so we can, Ms. Moretta will work with us however she will. She always does that. So let's do that, okay?
Right.
All right.
And if, Madam
Ms.
Chair,
Tyler.
and if necessary, some of us may come pick them up. I have gone to the district office and picked mine up before. So just whatever's, you know.
That's right. So each board member, please let Ms. Beretta know before you leave tonight how you would like to get it. Would you like to have the hard copy or would you like the electronic copy?
Yeah.
All right. This time we're going to continue with human resources update.
I didn't have my hand up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ms. Edwards, Orangeburg County School District Board of Trustees and Superintendent Foster. This evening, just wanted to share with you, it's that time of year again where we send out our letters of intent. Those will go out next Tuesday on November 16th. Employees will have until November 30th to have those completed and submitted via the iVisions portal. We are sending them out again through iVisions. There will be support at the school as well as the district level if individuals have some issues accessing iVisions in order to complete those letters of intent. The options will include, I would like to be considered for employment for 2022, 2023. There's also an option for resignation, and we are also asking that individuals please submit those letters of resignation to their principals. There's an option for retirement. We are also asking for that retirement letter at that time. And then there's also an option to be considered for a transfer. We are looking to have these letters at this time or as early as possible in an effort to secure replacements for those individuals so we can start posting positions in January and hiring people as soon as possible. Are there any questions for me at this time?
Ms. Belzer?
Madam Chair, I'm looking at these options. Legally, we have to put on there that resignation part. Resignation with submitted signed resignation letter.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you have to do that.
You don't have to. We put that out there in order to try to find out early enough to post those positions and find replacements. But these are non-binding letters of intent.
I just didn't like that second one with resignation. I'm thinking, I may be thinking about it, and if you put it on there, I'm probably going to
Pushing
sign
you on
it.
out.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm with that.
I got you. It worked pretty well for us last year. A lot of
Okay.
people at the end of the year had made up their mind that they were going to resign, and they turned those in, and we were able to fill a lot of positions early with
Right.
the resignations that we.
But I know it helps you in making decisions about certain things, but I don't know. I just thought it was, I looked at it and I was like, I don't like that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Omer?
Yes, Ms. Pelzer?
Yes.
I agree with you. And also, if we feel or we get letters of resignation, if it's somebody that we can
Oh, yeah.
talk to.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's try to look at retention,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
We're trying that now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
Please, please.
Madam
Ms.
Chair,
Carson?
I'm still asking about our mentor programs for our teachers, and we know we're in a tedious year, and this COVID has put all of us in a tizzy. Are we nurturing our teachers?
Yes, ma'am. They each have mentors, our induction teachers, as well as some international teachers and our annual teachers. But they also have a monthly meeting that is led by Ms. Taylor, where they're able to come down and get instruction from her to actually put things in place in their classroom the next day. It's actually PD. A lot of the PD that our teachers go to from time to time when they travel places, it's hard to put that stuff into place the next day, but they actually get things from Ms. Taylor that they can implement in their classrooms immediately. And that support is, like you said, is very important for our
Okay. It's been in the news about teachers burnout.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're not getting the help from staff, district level, principals. They're not talking to our teachers in the way that they are professionals. And they're not only being physically burned out, they're being mentally burned out also. And I'm tired of saying this, we need to know how to talk to professionals in a way that you would want someone to talk to you.
I agree 100% with that. And while I'm here, I'll say, and everybody that's listening, there is a policy in place. If you are not being treated the way you need to be treated, please reach out to us in HR, and we will do our absolute best to make sure we address that situation.
Okay, and another, said when they call the district office, they get put on hold. They can't reach anyone to talk to. So we need to put a stop to this today.
Thank you, ma'am. We will definitely keep that in mind.
Okay, you said that they are meeting and they meet monthly with
Ms. Taylor. Yes.
Ms. Taylor. So what kind of feel are you getting from our teachers that have mentors? What kind of state of mind? I mean, you know, how are they feeling? Are they in a good place, a bad place? I just want to know.
Good question.
So we've had a couple sessions so far, and we start the session with something we call a lemon squeeze. We have them share their lemon moments and their lemonade moments. Okay. One of the sessions we talked about building relationships with students. Actually, we're meeting next week. We're going to be talking about, we're going to have a data and donuts, and we're going to talk about digging into data. So some of the feel coming from the teachers, a lot of positive feedback, excuse me. Some of them say they are feeling supported. Some of them are saying they are adjusting well. Some have expressed concerns. I haven't heard as many concerns about administration, particularly what I've been hearing of things like adjusting to the different technology. At the beginning of the year, we had some teachers that had to go straight virtual because, of course, with COVID numbers. So that was a burden on learning how to do the dual modality for the new teachers, also adjusting and learning the new curriculum because they haven't had the same level of training as we had last year with Wit and Wisdom and Eureka Math. So that's been a lot of the concern that we've heard initially from the new teachers. So we didn't get to meet last month because of the change with the parent-teacher conference day, and we also had a praxis workshop. So we're meeting next month, and we'll also get feedback. But we've had a lot of positive feedback from the new teachers saying that they have received support. Teachers should have a mentor, and I've encouraged them that I have an open door policy, that if they have any questions or concerns, they can come let me know. I visited teachers on their site who just had some questions about things. So I encourage that open dialogue, and I'll investigate and follow up if it's something that I need to address or if it's a matter that deals with HR. So to those teachers, and even if it's not a new teacher, I deal with teacher effectiveness. So if there's any questions or concerns with evaluation, they can always reach out and we'll provide that support.
Thank you.
Dr. O'Quinn?
Yeah, I have a question. You're talking mainly about new teachers. I know you did mention toward the end that you're talking about old teachers too. But just to sort of piggyback on what Ms. Carson has said, we do have some people in this district who are, she didn't say this, but I am, who are probably not happy with the way things are going, and the morale is rather low. Mm-hmm. And to retain our teachers, we need to do everything we can do to make this a good place for them to work. Yes. And I think that's where Ms. Carson was going with this, and we need to be sure that their leaders and administrators are talking to them in the correct way. And I know you said that they can come to HR, they can come complain about it. Some of these people are afraid to do that. Mm-hmm. They're afraid if they make any kind of waves that it will come back to them. So I think we need to do everything we can to retain the teachers that we've got, not just the first-year teachers, but all those who have been here 10, 15, 20, and even 30 years.
And this has been a conversation in our meetings, and Mr. Holliday has been working with us, and we've been talking about it, so I'll let him further share. But that has been a big subject of our HR meetings. Thank you.
And going back to policies and how important those are, you guys also passed a policy or have a policy in place as it pertains to retaliation. And I know folks don't want to come in and say anything because they feel like it'll make waves in the school, but there is a policy that goes against that as well.
Dr. Brunson?
I certainly agree with the comments from from everyone, and especially with Dr. O'Quinn. Sometimes when I'm out and about, I get bombarded, and it's very uncomfortable when you listen to employees, especially teachers, who are complaining about the way that they're being treated in their buildings. And I have really some grave concerns about that, and I hope that we'll get an opportunity to have some discussion about some things that we can do to fix that. No one should be getting up in the morning, going to work, feeling uncomfortable. And although they're professional teachers, I equate it to children going to school being bullied. And if you're a professional and you're going in your building every morning and you're in essence being bullied by the administration there, then that's a problem. Some of the things that I hope that we'll be able to support, and I'd like to see that lead come from curriculum and instruction, where we can have some grade band meetings across the district so that teachers are supported by their peers, ideas are shared, and they get that district-wide support. So we need to look more at some of those things when we have these professional development days and work days. We need to see that kind of collaboration going on in the district, because if teachers are not supported and they feel that they're not getting, that support in their buildings, they're going to leave the district. And so I'm hoping that we'll be able to sit down and talk about putting some things in place and getting some initiative to support our teachers. And if we have principals who are not being fair to their staff members, we need to deal with that. We definitely need to deal with that, because, you can catch more flies with sugar than you can with vinegar. It hurts me really when I go out and I get bombarded with people wanting to tell me, what's going on with their principal or, their assistant principals, or, how they're being treated and those kinds of things. But trust me, it's happening, and I hear it more than I'd like to hear it. So I want us to work on those things.
And Dr. Bronson, it's not only the principals, but it's here at the district level also.
Amen.
Thank you. And I would encourage employees, please, reach out to us. Tell us who those individuals are, and we can try to get that stopped.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Holliday.
Yes, ma'am.
We talked about the retaliation policy. As I said before about policy, a lot of people will not reach out because they are afraid of retaliation. And when they do, nothing is being done. Or by the time they get back to a building, the principal knows what's going on, and it starts then. And so the employee finds his or herself in a
Catch-22 situation.
Yeah, and there are some things that got to be done. I agree with everything that's been said tonight, and we hear this all the time. Everywhere we go, we turn, phone calls daily, and it's a problem within the district.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Ms. Davis? I just totally agree with everything been said. Sometimes I get so tired. And I'm very outspoken. And when I talk with authority. My daddy taught me that. He said, when you speak with authority, people listen. And what we're doing is we're allowing people to run good people from jobs. And we got to stop that. You got a dynamic teacher, and they so scared, they crying when they get home. We get lost. So we got to stop this. And when they call you, if somebody's in your office that's telling the gossip about your office, something needs to be done.
Thank you.
Any more comments?
Any other questions?
Ms. Tyler?
I'll go back with what our president stated. When he took office, he said if he found any person
Go ahead.
in his department that was talking down to people, they had to go. So I'll go along with our President of the United States. And as it was stated, my mom used to say you can catch more flies with honey
Than you can with vinegar.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Ms. Tyler. That's a drop the mic time. Thank you, Mr. Holliday. At this time, we will continue with the communication, business, and community partnerships.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Foster. I am Taffany Sanders, Technology Coordinator and a member of the Communications and Business Partnership Division. I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Technology Department. I would like to present to you this evening 2 topics relating to computing devices. First, I would like to draw your attention to a new module that has recently been implemented as a part of the district's current content filter. The new module, called Lightspeed Alerts, provides early warning, visibility, threat protection, and an additional layer of filtering protection for devices. By implementing this module, we hope to ensure that the access to the right information and getting it into the right hands can help protect our students. So how does it work? Lightspeed Alert uses artificial intelligence to scan and flag events. It identifies concerning behaviors related to self-harm, suicide, bullying, or violence, after which a notification is instantly triggered, allowing appropriate staff to intervene. Are there any questions related to Lightspeed Alerts?
Madam Chair, this program is equipped to alert IT that this is being done?
Yes, ma'am. Currently, it is alerting the security team within IT. We will be rolling this out to principals and principals designees in the coming weeks to also receive those notifications.
So we have someone in IT that is watching.
Well, we're getting notified.
Does it send out alerts or, we're watching?
No, ma'am. It just triggers an email that comes to the security team, and then we take action from there.
Okay.
Okay. Next, I'd like to outline information being presented to schools to aid in the technology fee process. Technology has worked closely with the instructional team as well as school teams representing elementary, middle, high school administrators, bookkeepers, media specialists across the district to gain insight, brainstorm, and work together to ensure that we streamline the process across the region. The streamlined process outlines steps to take from the initial reporting of a device lost, stolen, or damaged to the payment and replacement of the device. Resources will be provided for schools so that everyone is following the same procedures across the district. In step 1, the device is reported to the school as lost, damaged, or stolen. In step 2, fees are assessed if applicable, and a loaner device is provided. In step 3, the parents are notified of any fines via call, email, or letter. In step 4, payment is received or a payment plan is set up. And last, in step 5, fees are entered into Follett Destiny for tracking. To help schools keep up and track communications and payments, we will provide documentation, as you see here, and forms for consistency across the district. Are there any questions relating to technology fees for devices?
Ms. Stevens?
When those devices are lost, who pays for them?
I couldn't hear you.
Who pays for it if they're lost? If a student if their device is lost, or for some reason they don't have it, who pays for it? The student?
If it's reported, no ma'am, the parents. If it is reported loss, then we can track some of the devices, we'll try to track it. And if we can't find it, then of course we make that communication with the parent because a replacement cost needs to be assessed.
And the parent pay for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's going to be responsible for collecting these fees from these people and enforcing the fact that they may not be able to keep a device if they don't pay what they're supposed to pay? I see you've got listed media specialist, bookkeeper, or administrative selected designee. So who is going to be the bad man that's going to have to face up to the fussing from the parents and the students because they will not let them have their device, or they've got to pay by whatever day? Who's going to be doing that?
Those conversations, the smaller of the funder would be the administration there. And then inputting, a principal, the bookkeeper will probably input the fees, but having that conversation when there's ever a circumstance where there's a parent should be held at the administration level at the schools to have those tough conversations with given those situations.
No, I just have a question. Do we have any parents or guardians of foster home refusing to accept the devices for their children?
Yes, ma'am. There has been some communications in meeting with media specialists that has happened. And in those instances, we just make sure that there's a device at the school for the student to use.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, at this time, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel recommendations, contractual matters, and employee A grievance appeal hearing request.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we enter into executive session to discuss personnel recommendation, contractual matters, and employee A grievances appeal hearing request.
It's been moved and properly second that we go into executive session for personnel recommendations, contractual matters, and employee A grievance appeal hearing request. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Darn it.
I say it's colder. It's colder.
No, I don't see mine.
Water.
I don't see nothing on my desk.
I still have a question about it.
No, I don't see anything. Maybe she took it out.
No, she probably got it. Maybe she took it back out.
Everybody here?
I don't see nothing.
That's everybody. Okay. Ready? This time I will entertain a oh, they still can't, okay. I will entertain a motion to come out of executive session to enter back into open session.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we return to open session at this time.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we return back to open session. All those in favor out of executive session? Any opposed? Motion carries. This time we will consider any motions coming out of executive session.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the personnel recommendation of resignation coming from our superintendent.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the recommendations coming from the superintendent. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, after receiving all the information in connection with the grievance before the board, I move that we deny the request of employee A to hear the grievance appeal.
Second.
It's been moved and promptly second that after reviewing all the information in connection with the grievance before the board, I move that we deny the request of employee A to hear their grievance appeal. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, are there any announcements?
I have a question. Dr. Foster, in earlier dealing with COVID, with the vaccine incentive, did you check to verify that board members are considered as employees?
No, ma'am, I did not get that information.
Because, Ms. Carson, do you have a copy? Did you say you have a copy of the motion?
Mm-hmm. That motion was made that we authorized the superintendent to approve, and we amended from $150 to $200 stipend to all employees that show proof of vaccination.
I just have a concern with that, with the board receiving that as well. Okay. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Tyler?
A question. Dr. Foster, I had some parents to call, and they would like to know when is it that they can start back going into the school or visiting the school?
Yes, ma'am, we're continuing to monitor the protocol. What we're doing, if there is a request and a set up time, we have allowed for some of those situations, but we have not opened up, so I want to leave if we hadn't opened up those kinds of visits. But if there's a situation where they contact and have a specific reason, then they can work that with the school. So we have done that in some situations for those known specific cases, but not just open and say, I'm coming here, you're not supposed to put my child. We still want to stay away from those things at this time. I think it's probably a little bit too soon to do those situations that we can't closely monitor in that regard, but also having knowing the individuals that are coming in and out.
Okay, one other last question, and I guess it's probably kind of on the same thing you just said. And they would like to know, when are we going to open our board meetings back up?
Ms. Tyler,
Face to face.
that's a board decision to vote on, so that isn't for me to decide.
Thank you.
Okay, that's something we will discuss, Ms. Tyler. Are there any more announcements? Our next board meeting will be scheduled for December the 14th, 2021. And this time I'm gonna get this right. Those of you, please have a wonderful, safe, and happy Thanksgiving. I think I jumped the gun last time. I was so excited about it, so make sure everyone has a great Thanksgiving. And this time I will entertain a motion for the adjournment of this meeting at 9:36.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second that we adjourn our meeting, our November 9th meeting at 9:36. All those in favor? No opposed? Good night, everyone, and have a great, great holiday.